Same thing except for more complicated. And I love complicated things. So I'm going to put this back on the modifiers tab just for purposes unknown. And let's delete this diffuse here by left clicking it and pressing X. Add a new node by pressing Shift A, shader, and glossy. And drag this little thing here to over there. And you'll notice that we have a lot more detail. So at this point, if you were to render an animation, it would look something like this. Let's get out of this and load this, and bam, and there we go, play. So that's what it would look like at this point if you just did that. Of course, this is a lot more rough than what we're currently working with, but this gives you an idea of what it would look like if you were just to give up on this tutorial at this point. You're like, I quit. He taught me what I need to know. So that would be a good idea, a good reference of what it would look like. Let's make the ocean a little bit darker. As you can see, it's reflective, and it's reflecting the light so much that it's actually making the surface look lighter than it should. So let's go ahead and add another node by duplicating this one. So left click the node, the glossy node, and press Shift D to duplicate. Move your cursor down and left click to finalize that. And then change the color to something dark. I'm going to change it to a dark green. And then I'm going to add a mix shader so we can actually mix these together. So Shift A, shader, mix shader. Move it so that the line turns orange and it automatically displaces the line to the new node. And there we go. And as you can see, the texture of the ocean is a lot darker now, and that's exactly what I want. And of course you can mess with that further, like changing this blue. Let's go ahead and change it to blue and make more of like an aqua green or an aqua blue or whatever it's called. And yeah, looks pretty nice. So foam, about it. How do we get foam to work? This will be the last part of the tutorial and the most complicated. How do we get foam to show? So if you look over to the modifiers tab, click generate foam, nothing happens. If we change the name of our foam to something creative like foam, took me a while to think that up, to be honest with you, nothing happens. So how do we get foam to show? How you want to do that is actually press Shift A and go to input and go to attribute. Alright, and the name of course is foam, so the name of the attribute is foam. So that's how it knows what it's looking for. Let's go and connect the dots here, factor to this, and you'll notice that the dark green is now the foam. So with that observation, you realize that the bottom node in the mix shader is the foam color. So how would you go about doing that? Well, to change the color of the foam, you simply just change this bottom node here to white. So let's go ahead and change it, and the foam is now white. But what if you want more detail? So let's go ahead and change it back to green, and there we go. And let's go ahead and disconnect the factor, the foam. Let's go ahead and make it a darker green here.